Hey, Ryan. Oh,
Hey Dave, how's it going?
good. How are you?
Good.
Good. Just look at the other guys. We might, you know what? This kind of sucks because I've got one guy that has been non-responsive this morning because he wasn't feeling good, and another guy that decided to leave and just gave me notification today. So there's only going to be myself and probably two others. I will confirm. Obviously, we'll see if these guys jump on,
Yeah,
and if not, then I'll have to might have to reschedule. Unfortunately, I apologize.
yeah, that's fine.
I don't
And
want to. I don't want to waste your time. Obviously, I know you're busy.
yeah, that's totally fine, man. Worst case, even if it's just one guy or just you, I'd love to share some strategies, and we could even, I'm recording, and we could always, have you impart the information to them later or share it with them. So
Absolutely.
any way that I can help you, it's totally fine. And I know, I manage some people in my office as much as I wish I could control more. Sometimes you realize there's only you focus on what you can control, but it's only so much. So
Exactly. Exactly.
people got problems, imperfections, family stuff,
Yeah.
motivation problems. So
See where these guys are at in a second. I'm gonna send them a message here.
sure.
How's your week been?
Been good, man. It's been really good. How about you?
Yeah, it's been busy. Brian and Brad are on vacation. They have been for a while. Still gone for all of next week. And so yeah, it's just a lot of moving
Yeah,
pieces.
yeah. What's Brad like? He's Brian's son, right? But he's not really on the sales side. He's more on the
Yeah, he's on the operations side. So he runs the techs and kind of internal processes for, ordering and that sort of thing and making sure we've got product. And I work with him closely with regards to pricing structures and a little bit of strategy stuff as well.
All right. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we
yes,
can.
sir.
All right. Technology's working. Okay. I suppose I could share my video.
Steve's got the most classic voice. Love it.
How you
Love it,
doing?
man. Good, man.
Fantastic. Yeah, no. Don't we have, did the other guys confirm they were coming?
Well, Sam wasn't feeling that great this morning. I haven't heard anything from Alan, and I know that Don I think he was driving to Vancouver. I can't remember.
Right.
Yeah. Don
Why
works
don't
as a contractor, so he's kind of got free reign.
Yeah.
He just kind of does what he does, and then the same with Alan actually. And then we just asked them to make
why don't
sense.
we get started? And for you guys that did show up, I'm gonna provide a ton of value. Like my goal is to give you guys some stuff that will help you close deals. Like literally, like Steve, like I wanna make you money like today.
I'm
You
in.
got a couple deals in the hopper that need to be closed. They're just waiting on some paperwork, or you're trying to get in touch with some people.
Yeah, I got actually one that I'm working on the paperwork with now. I have a meeting scheduled with him for 10 a.m. tomorrow to try and close it.
Beauty. Awesome, man. Okay, so what I want to do is get right into the things that, first of all, so if you have a pen or notepad handy?
Working on it.
Yes, sir. By the way, do you know who Grant Cardone is? Everything I'm going to teach you today is from him.
Yes, I do. I
Oh,
used to
beautiful.
listen to his podcast.
Oh,
And yeah, I know who he is.
okay, sweet. Awesome. I see Melody's popping in here. Is she one of the sales reps?
No. Oh, that might be Don.
Alan? No.
Oh,
Oh,
I maybe I'm not sure.
maybe on a spouse's computer, or maybe
Yeah.
Melody is a man's name. I'm in, in 2022, you can't, Melody is questioning or whatever that word is.
That's right.
Come in, Melody, come in. Are you there?
No. You're on mute, just so you know.
No camera, no mic. Let's see, ask to unmute, ask to start video. Let's see if that works. Oh,
It
hello.
wouldn't let me unmute.
Oh, that's
Every
weird.
time I hit unmute, it would go unmute, mute on, unmute, mute on. It wouldn't unmute.
Yeah. How's it going? What's your name, man?
This is Alan. Yeah, I
Alan.
don't know why my wife's logged. I don't remember her using my Zoom, but
Cool.
yeah.
Awesome, man. Cool. Do you have a webcam as well?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Cool, man. Well, hey, really excited to meet you guys. I was just telling Steve and Dave, my name's Ryan, so I'm actually a sales guy. I'm just going to share some strategies that have worked for me, that have helped me close a lot of deals and make me a lot of money, that I hope that will make you guys a lot of money. And all of it's from Grant Cardone. So I don't know if you know who Grant Cardone is.
Nope.
Cool. Well, he's widely considered to be the #1 sales expert on the planet. I'm just going to share some stuff that's worked for a lot of companies, about 2,000 of them, and for me, and for a lot of companies in your industry as well. And today we're going to be talking about, hey, how can we take some deals that are in the hopper, that are in the pipeline, that are maybe we're waiting on some paperwork, or maybe they got stalled out. Does that ever happen to you guys? Deals go dark on you, they stall out, they said they were going to do it, said they were going to send the contract back, and you're waiting on, you're like, where's that contract?
Yep.
Right. So the first thing, if you guys are taking notes, is one of the biggest reasons that deals that they go dark is because you missed a decision maker. You want to write this down: decision maker or influencer. And I remember, you guys know what I mean by go dark, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If they go dark, they're most likely not the decision maker. You thought they were the decision maker and they're not. You guys want to write this down? Decision makers make decisions.
Mhm.
They say, we are going forward or we are not going forward. We will not do this now. We may consider it in a month. That's a decision, right? If you have someone that's like, yeah, I don't know, it's just been the timing. And what happened was you basically got in front of someone who you thought was the decision maker. You ever had someone say, I am the decision maker?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys want to, like, red alarm, red alert, dude. If you hear someone say that, that most likely means they are not the decision maker.
I've had
Yeah.
things go dark when I'm dealing with the decision maker. Like it happens too. Other
Yep.
things will come in, like computer system will be all of a sudden their computer system dies, and that's priority. So that takes priority over the phone system,
Yep.
So I've seen it go dark with decision makers, with owners of the companies.
Oh, totally.
happens.
Totally.
Yeah.
And by the way, you're right. There are a couple scenarios. So the first one is like, you might not have the decision maker. Second one is you may have the decision maker. They're the check signer, they're the owner, but they're not the person that is actually like, because I imagine you guys probably deal with like an office manager sometimes, or like someone who's like more like the end user kind of thing. Is that correct? Or are you guys only dealing with the owner all day long?
One or the
Yeah.
other, usually an office
Well-
manager or the owner.
Okay, good. So sometimes you have the owner, but you miss the influencer, right? You have the check signer, but not really like the end user or the influencer. So one of the things that you guys can do, so it's in both cases, is it's very important that on the appointment set call, you guys set appointments, right? You call like at the beginning, is you want to ask, hey, who else in your organization would need to see this, would need to be there in order for you to make a decision on it? And it's very important to get an answer to this question. Very important. Because sometimes they'll say this, just me.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Okay. Very important. When they say just me, know that it's most likely not just them. There's multiple people in a company. Okay, dude, if I called Brian today and he's like, it's just me, like, I'm like, I know, like, dude, it says on your website, Dave, sales manager, like, there's no way that in regards to sales, Dave's not involved somehow. So I'm gonna say this, hey, absolutely, always agree, first rule of selling, always agree, never be confrontational. Hey, absolutely, I could tell you're definitely the guy. Who else in your organization usually like to get the support in or the buy-in just to make them feel good? See how I'm making him right? I'm like, hey, totally, I get it. It is just you, you're the decision maker. Who else would you want to just bring them in just to make them feel good? Maybe to get their buy-in or support. Yeah, maybe Dave, might want to bring Dave in. Okay, and it works the same way. Let's say I'm talking to Dave and I need to get Brian in. Hey, Dave, totally understand. I know you're the guy that would execute on this. I know you're the decision maker. You know, usually there's someone that you like to at least run this by just to make them feel good. Oh, yeah, I guess maybe Brian probably want to run it by him. And that one question could save you so much heartache, because usually what happens is if you have an influencer without a decision maker or a decision maker without an influencer, so even if you have the owner, you're missing someone. What happens is this is what happens behind closed doors. And Dave, you could probably back me up on this. You have a vendor that calls, you review the product, then you take it to Brian. Maybe you're excited about it. You take it to Brian and he goes, what? No, we have so many other things to deal with. Let's put that off. And now you're like, I can't, I got to save face with my guy, Alan, my sales rep. So you go back to him, you're like, hey man, listen, we just have a lot of things on the go. This is bad timing right now. And you have no idea that your deal just got blown up behind closed doors. Or maybe he's going dark on you because he's like, he can't come to you and say like, dude, I said I was the guy, but really your deal got shot down by someone else. So this is a very, very important thing. And then what you want to do is sometimes you'll ask a third time and you'll get another answer. So maybe there's a third person involved, or maybe they didn't reveal something. So at the beginning of your presentation, I imagine you guys go in, you greet, right? And then what do? You find out about them. You do your fact find, needs analysis, questions, investigation. What do you guys call it?
Yeah, well, these guys, you know, by the time if they're doing a presentation, then we're going into product demos. So, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but at that point, we've got decision makers and influencers in the room, I would assume.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So no matter how many people in the room, let's say you're in front of 6 people, I'm still going to ask. So I'm going to do my fact finding, right? Hey, what do you need? What are you doing now? And then at the end of the fact find, or the questions or needs analysis, I'm going to ask, hey, is there anyone else aside from you guys that would need to see this in order for you to make a decision on it?
Mhm. Yeah,
You know?
that's again, that's like, it's probably done before. We deal with whether it's an office manager and an owner and an IT person that's internal to their company. That's something that on our level, I think is a basic necessity before you even present. I mean, we can give them features and benefits to somebody who's an influencer and probably get in the ear of the owner, of the actual decision maker. But for the most part, once we start presenting, it's because everybody's at the table and they've all recognized that there's needs that need to be met within the business. And this is a solution that might be an option for them. Am I safe in
Totally.
saying that with you guys?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally.
Yeah.
So this is just like a backup. Like in the military, they talk about like, dude, have backstops, like just in case, right?
Mhm.
So if you did your job right, you're going to have everyone in the room, but sometimes, people are sick, people are out, they're adding a new person, this person's joining us in a couple weeks. Like there's these little factors that blow up your deal behind closed doors that you have no idea about. I just want to put everything I can in my control.
Mhm.
So let's say like 97% of the time, there's not someone else. Like I just want to cover every single possible thing. So that's the first thing. The next thing is when you guys are at the tail end of the deal and they say, yeah, we're going to do it, send over the paperwork, we're going to sign it. Here's a question you can ask. Is there any reason you change your mind? Very powerful question. Is there any reason you change your mind? Because sometimes the salesperson is so good, like, dude, I have such a good relationship with Alan. I can't say no to Alan. You know what I mean? I'm almost just going to say, yeah, I'll sign it. But then I change my mind later. You guys ever send paperwork and then they change their mind?
couple times. Seen it
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. So is there any reason that you change your mind? Right? This is a great question.
It's a good question. I do get it. At that point, you're gonna get a standard issue answer. No, not that I can think of.
Yep.
Right? And then from there, it's follow-up, right? So.
Yep. So I'm gonna
um,
give you guys some follow-up strategies, by the way. Sorry, Dave, you were gonna say something else?
No, that's just how it goes. I mean, you have somebody in the spot. Is there any reason you change your mind? Like, yeah, okay, it's a good question, but it's also.
Yep.
You can expect the answer from them. No, there's nothing that I can foreseeing changing my mind because they don't know what they don't know at that time, right?
Yep.
Unless
Yep.
they've got other offers, whatever it may be. Generally, again, we're having that conversation prior to having paperwork signed over. I would say for the most part, when we're sending out paperwork, it's number one, the reason why it takes so long to get back is because of how extensive the paperwork is. So it's not necessarily a decision thing. I think the biggest thing that we want to do as a team right now is be in front of more people. Like our sales guys are strong enough that if they have a solid opportunity and there's some level of interest, that they're going to be able to win that deal. And it's based off of not just the price, but it's based off the quality of the product, the quality of service and support that they give, and that added personal touch that they're providing, the relationship that they've developed with not only the decision maker, but the influencer as well. So what you're covering here, I mean, this is sales 101. This is very basic stuff that we're looking at. And realistically, from a follow-up standpoint, when somebody goes dark, I'd love to hear the types of strategies that you might have that maybe we're not thinking of,
100%. You set me up perfectly. I was leading right into my next point. Okay. So what we like to do, we have a ton of I'm going to share a bunch of examples today. So I just wanted to make sure I covered that because sometimes even the basics we tend to miss. Okay. So if you guys are doing this handwritten, I'm just going to fly through these in case there's probably a bunch you're already doing, but handwritten card, great touch point. Okay. Here's another one. Thought of you when I saw this. Okay. So these are called no deal touches. Meaning it's something like you're creating a relationship. It's not like, hey, send the deal back. Hey, checking in, are we doing the deal? It's just a no deal touch, meaning it's just a way to get in front of them. That's adding value, that's creating a relationship that isn't, hey, can you send the deal back? Okay, thought of you when I saw this is usually like you guys find out about people, like stuff they do, they like ATVing or they like sports. Okay, so we found out there's a guy that likes cars. So this is an example. So Morgan here, Grant Cardone's office, saw this article the other day on the new ZR1. You guys know what that is?
Yep.
Okay. Corvette, right? Looks like the Ford GT just met its match. And then what does the customer respond with? Right? Okay. So that's just it's actually kind of backwards. You'd think they wouldn't respond and bring up the deal, but when you send value, when you send a no deal touch, they're actually more likely to bring up the deal than if you bring up the deal. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's something that we do subconsciously, especially with people that have a very developed relationship.
Yeah.
So if I'm dealing with a friend that I know in town, I might shoot him a message about something completely unrelated. Maybe it's to go for lunch or whatever it is. So I'm assuming we can talk about it then, whatever that may be. So that I don't mind that. For the most part, when you're working with office admin or owners, I think there's you got to use some level of discretion. I would say.
Yep. No, 100%, 100%. And by the way, like some of the stuff I'll show you guys is like, you'd think it wouldn't work. It's like, you got to be a little bit more professional and you got to be, but I'm telling you guys at the end of the day, like they're just people. Like if you form a relationship, you form a relationship,
Yeah.
And I've had customers. So this is an example of a customer that was very like, you guys ever have customers that are just like very like tough? They're very like, yup, send it. Okay, got it. Like they're not really letting you in. So I had a customer like this in Manitoba, and I did what we call this recon, which is a military term. It stands for reconnaissance. And what that means is, dude, I'm gonna look them up. I'm gonna Google them. I'm gonna Google stuff, see if they're on social. I'm gonna like find out about them. And I looked up their town, and it's a town of 2,500 people, and they produce wheat. That's their specialty. So I was working the deal with a colleague of mine. So it says, hey, Steve says when we get this deal done, he's going to invite you down to his farm to thrash some wheat. And they said, hey, got a guy on staff that has a tractor just like that. 1915 case steam engine. That's amazing. We have a strong club in town. And it was like one little touch point that added some reality outside of just like what we're selling that kind of solidified the relation. And we got the deal done in like 2 days. Okay, here's another example. So we get really fun with a lot of these. Okay, another guy that was very like tough, very strict, very, you know, serious. And I looked him up on Facebook. I found that he was a Tom Brady fan. So I photoshopped his face onto Tom Brady. This is the most serious guy, like running a multi-million-dollar corporation, CEO. And he says this. And I was like, it blows me away how much this stuff works, guys, because no one else is doing it, because everyone, all of your competitors, all the other Allens and the other, you know, competitors, companies, dude, they're like, dude, I need to be uptight, and professional, and only send email and be very strict. And like, I'm telling you guys, if you want to take a good note down, write this down. Okay, they are human beings. They like to laugh, smile. They have kids. They have beers. They have hobbies. Like, and that's what I realized with this. And I made a little joke about, if you guys saw the Super Bowl a few years back,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
So about me being a Falcons fan, and then he said this,
Mhm.
and he called me bro. Dude, executive, multi-million-dollar corporation called me bro. And then what does he say? Hey man, I forgot the programs don't change, blah, blah, blah. Meetings, does that work for you? And they bring up, again, this is another example of they bring up the deal because I made a no deal touch point. We get creative, right? Holidays are easy. You guys know what this date is?
Take it a while.
Yep.
Cinco de Mayo, yeah.
Yeah. So I sent the sombrero. He sends me a picture of his kids. Sometimes they send other stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And the deal here with these no deal touches is you got to get creative and get people to smile and think about you without being like, oh, there's the pressure and stress of like, I got to deal with this sales guy. It's more like, oh, dude, I'm laughing, I'm having fun. Oh yeah, that's the deal. I like the guy. I want to get back to him. You know, we send all these all the time. It's called the selfie video. So here's me just walking around in my office. You know, it's very simple. You know, hey, just wanted to show you around, just wanted to put a face to the name. This is great before appointments, before you met someone in person. You know, you could introduce people. There's so many creative ways that you could use the selfie video. Here's another one, sending gifts in the mail. Right, so I send him something. What does he respond with? I don't know if, is this big enough?
Yep.
Steve, can you read this? Yeah,
Yep.
okay, sweet. Cool. I think you got a second screen. That's why I was making sure.
Yep.
Okay, sweet.
I have 2 second screens, 32
beautiful.
inches each. Yep.
Beautiful. Love it. Okay, you could get really creative with the gifts. The easiest thing is Amazon. I love Amazon because you could literally write a note and gift wrap it for like $4, $5.
Mm.
So I found out this guy is a Habs fan. And then I sent him, if you guys know hockey references, do you guys know Patrick Roy and what happened with him?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Dave, explain for Steve.
Well, with Patrick Waugh, leaving the Canadians, there was a big
Yeah.
blowout, like a big temper tantrum he threw. He was not, he was kind of known for it, I would say.
Yeah.
But I'm not, I don't know which situation you're referring to.
Yeah. So this is a note. It's kind of small, but it says, hey, this time you'll never demand a trade from our team. And with a little figurine of Patrick Roy, because he basically said, like, I demand a trade. And he was upset because they left him in the net when they scored like 8 goals on it. They didn't pull
Yeah.
him.
Oh, that's
So-
right. Yeah.
So like little funny references, dude, I'll put a guy on a Forbes magazine. Hey, this is what it'll be like once we team up.
Hmm.
There's a little generator, just go like Forbes generator. And then he says this, look, good looking guy, I haven't forgot about you. He's talking about himself.
Mhm.
You know, I knew a guy was like big into dogs, and we had our owner just got a dog at the time. And so I was waiting on the agreement back and I sent them this.
Sean, please send the deal back. I'm gonna be happy till you send the deal back, please. Please.
The puppy dog approach.
Nice.
Okay,
I do
okay.
like the creativity side of that, obviously.
Yep. You guys know what CC stands for?
Carbon copy.
Credit card.
Yeah. Yeah, credit card, you know?
Yep.
So like you were saying earlier, or I think Alan was, I forget who's saying it, but like sometimes even that if it is the decision maker, they're really busy and there's so many things going on in their world. You got to do stuff that's entertaining, that stands out. Like, dude, there's so many things taking people's attention.
Nice one.
This is me, kind of, you know, that's easy. That's easy, right? Like social media apps have these like filters. So we get more and more creative. I did this one, and by the way, these are all strategies. Let me put this.
Do what?
So check
You
this
ready
out.
to follow up? You got a customer? Don't know what to do? Let's get busy. Pick a day.
So like, for example, like day 5.
It's day 5. You're going to use, I thought of you when I saw this. I want you to find some piece of data, anything.
So just to show you guys, like this is from our like this is stuff that I never thought would work, and then I just had faith. I just listened to Grant, I followed these strategies, and like, dude, all these things that I'm showing you like led to deals. Here's another creative one.
Hey Ryan, it's Curious George here. Listen, I know my guy Ryan with Cardone, I know he's been bugging you to get the deal done, to get your manager sold. And I was just curious because he was telling me about it. If you had a chance to talk to your manager.
There's just stuff like that, right? Here's one of my favorites. These are some of my colleagues.
Red alert! I can't find Steve anywhere. Nick, have you seen Steve anywhere?
Looking for a guy's named Steve. I'm on the phone with the police. I'm trying to find him.
This guy's on the police. He's calling the police, man, with some red alert. Let's see. Grant put some people in the closet here. What's going on? Steve, what are you doing in the closet?
Dude, Grant's got me in here making phone calls until Sabrina sends that deal back. Did Sabrina send the deal back?
Oh my gosh, Sabrina, help us out.
Look at this part. 50 years later.
Steve? Steve, is that you?
Chris, is that you?
Oh my gosh, what's going on?
Did Sabrina send
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, what's going on?
Right? So, you know, we get crazier and crazier with it. Like, here's one of our favorites. This is like one of the most classic. I'm going to give you guys this, and we'll actually, so that was actually on social media. So we just tagged the person, the CEO, in the post. And I don't know if you saw, but 500 people liked it. So every time someone likes it, they get reminded of the deal.
Yeah.
Which is a really, really good thing. So like, for example, I did this one a little while back. And I said, this is what it'll be like when we get the deal done. And I tagged them all, right? So you just tag them. So we get crazier and crazier, guys. There's so many different things, but it's just like, if you take away one thing, it's like creativity follows commitment, you know, creativity. Like check this one out. Actually, this is a good one.
Photoshop.
He just sold him a product. So it was like, you know, we sold that guy, you know, custom socks. I sent people like this all the time on, like, let's say I'm trying to hit a big target for the month. You guys know this shot with Tiger, and I'll be like, dude, this is what it'll be like if we did a deal like on the final day. I'm trying to hit a big target. And this is just to end it off because I got a call.
Does that ball ever drop in or what?
Oh yeah.
It does, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a legendary
Probably
shot, but
the
yeah.
most iconic shot in golf.
Yeah. But it's like right on the edge, right? So you know, this is a great one too. This is like the most classic one.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. So you could do the coffee, right? Just then skip the dishes, coffee, you know, coffee is for closers. Can't wait to help you, you know, close a lot of deals or help your company, or, you know, cheers to, you know, working together, or, you know, this one, we have the missing pieces. So Anyway, guys, I hope this is really helpful. I know the first part obviously kind of covered, I went a little too basic. You guys were looking for more of the stress. So probably the second part was more helpful, but I do really appreciate the time. I wish we could stay longer. I got this call, but I'd love to get your feedback. So I'm going to follow up, use creative follow-up. We'll get back in touch, all right? Thank you guys so
Yeah,
much.
no, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it.
Appreciate
Okay.
it, Ryan. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Okay, talk soon.
Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.